ladies and gentlemen, my fellow gamers, friends, and family, what's going on? This is your boy, Porter Rock 77. I am back. Check the description box. Hit up my Twitter. You'll see it down the link. Hit up my PayPal if you choose to donate. But no matter what, the fact that you're here is the most important part. Now let's get down to it. I have a question. How the hell did Paris Games Week trigger some members of the Xbox fan base? How? Yo, if somebody would have told me a week ago that this would happen, that Sony would have a nice, good show, and it would unveil certain hidden feelings, some emotional stress within the Xbox community, yo, I would not believe it. I think it's clear. I think this Paris Games show, finally showed some members of the Xbox community, those that do nonprofit work. I think they realize Microsoft can't beat Sony at game development. That war is done. I think they realize it's a wrap. Because we already had so many content announced. And now to get even more on top of what's already we have, and people still wondering what direction Microsoft's even going, I think they realize it's a done deal. It's a done deal. It's a wrap. It's over. It's over. Microsoft Publishing can't match Sony Publishing as a first party. It's done. The war's over. In everything. There is nothing that could be done now. Even the 4K, that's just a temporary thing, because soon that'll just be the standard in 4 or 5 years that everybody will have. So even that's short-lived. Like, Microsoft cannot go toe-to-toe with Sony in gaming. That's just already done. They're so far behind, it's not even funny. And the damage control. My God, the damage control. So far, the number one damage control, right, is the exaggeration once again. Oh, these games ain't coming out for 4 or 5 years. Never mind the fact that on Xbox, Crackdown was announced in 2014. Sea of Thieves was announced in 2015. So out of all these games that we're waiting for, those two are the oldest and been the longest we've been waiting for. And they still don't have official dates either. Talk about the pot coating the kettle black. And then the next damage control. This is huge. This is off the hook. This damage control is off the hook. The damage control of, well, I don't like knowing games 4 years out, 3 years out. So then ignore it. You don't have to pay attention. You don't have to watch Games Week. You don't have to reply to people on Twitter. Somebody tells you, yo, Paris Games Week, Sony made the announcements. They announced a new game. And you can ask, is it coming out next year? Nah, it's not coming out next year. Okay, then I don't want to know about it. Cool. You could just ignore it. But what about the gamers that do like to know what games are coming out 2 3 years? What games are currently in development? What games that they can put on their favorites and start following? Start seeing, developer interviews, development talk, articles and stuff like that. You like to know the progress of certain projects. What about those gamers that do like to do that? What do they do on Xbox? Well, I answered nothing. You got people on Xbox dancing around damage controlling because they don't know what Microsoft's doing. They're left in the dark. Completely left in the dark. And here's the funny part. This isn't new. Announcing games 2, 3 years out is not a new thing. Especially if you guys call yourselves gamers who've been gaming since the Super NES, the Nintendo, Genesis. This isn't new. People used to buy magazines back in those days, before internet. People used to buy magazines so they know what's the next big thing coming 2 to 3 years out. Pay money for this. Now, maybe if you started gaming for the first time in the 360 generation, you're 8 years old, that's when you started gaming. Yeah, maybe you're not used to that. Maybe you're not used to getting a rush of information on what games are coming out over the long term. But I'm sorry, this is not a new thing. If anything, what Microsoft's doing is a new thing. To not be able to let people know your future roadmap of the games you're planning to push out. That is new. And brother, it ain't working. People, that ain't it. That ain't the answer. Keeping your fan base in the dark, wondering what you're going to do, that ain't the answer, Sway. That ain't the answer. That's actually terrible. Because on the real, I don't know what the hell Microsoft is doing. And I'm tired of hearing, wait for E3. That's cool, like if the console just came out and they're trying to get in the swing of things. But we're in year 4. Next year's year 5. You bugging. And what blows my mind, some of you's invested over $1,000 in hardware. Xbox One original, $500. Xbox One S, $300. And now you're about to drop another 5 bones on the One X. That's $1,300 in hardware. And in the end, you're left in the dark. You guys are bugging if I'm going to give Microsoft that much money and end up with a thumb in my ass, not knowing what the hell's going on. Y'all bugging. Get out of here. That's excuses. You're giving Microsoft a pass because they can't cut it. They can't hack it. Hell, I know what Nintendo's doing next year. And they just came out. And I know what games are coming from them. This is bananas. You know what's funny? Here's what's funny. We talk about a lot of hypocrisy, right? PlayStation, we talk about in the beginning they were all about power. Now they're about games. And then the Xbox, vice versa, they were all about games. Now they're about power. That's the big hypocrisy. It's probably the biggest hypocrisy ever in gaming. I never seen such a switcheroo done in the same gen. It's like completely night and day, all within the same gen. All right? But here's one hypocrisy, and I'm going to call you Xbox gamers out. I'm going to call you out. You multi-console Xbox gamers, I'm going to call you out now. Because I strictly remember many of you, right? In the beginning of gen, the first 2-3 years, you guys bought the Xbox. You used it as the whole, you a gamer, you buy everything, right? And your biggest complaint about the platform, right, during the first 2-3 years was that Sony was doing a terrible job of releasing first-party titles. Terrible job. You bought the console for The Last of Us, for the God of Wars, and yada yada. That's what you bought the console for. That's why you guys were preaching the first 2-3 years. That you didn't care that the PS4 had the better version multiplats. You didn't buy it for the better version multiplats because you want to play those multiplats on your community on Xbox Live. You bought the PlayStation 4 for exclusives that you can get on Xbox. And now that it's happening, and not only is it happening, Sony's straight up beasting over Xbox. Killing it. They're killing gaming, period. They're putting too much content out. You can't keep up. Can't keep up. They're giving you the God of Wars. They're giving the Last of Us. And they're giving you new IPs. And these IPs will most likely get sequels. So you can invest in them. You can invest in the storyline. You can actually give a shit. So the one thing you were complaining about, remember, Sony party games are sparse. It's sparse. Greatness is taking too long. Well, greatness is here, bro. Y'all should be cheering that you finally get to turn on your consoles and all these great bangers, which most likely look better bangers than what you get on Xbox. You should be happy. But you guys still aren't happy. So it leads me to believe, were you guys full of shit since the start? Non-profit work for Microsoft? Is that what y'all doing? Come on, I refuse to believe that, right? Come on, multi-console owner kings, right? It's all about being a multi-console owner, right? Yo, who would have thought Paris Games Week would do this to y'all? The damage control, people upset, making videos. You got people crying, saying this ain't impressive. Yo, if this wasn't impressive, all right, fine. What Sony did wasn't impressive, fine. Here, do me a favor. Show me one that Microsoft did better. Oh, wait, they weren't even there. No press conference. They just showed a little live gameplay thing of PUBG and a release date. Gee. And this is the richest company in the world? These motherfuckers? Microsoft. This is what you get. And you know what's crazy? It ain't over. 2017 ain't over. Because in about 5 weeks, Sony's coming at y'all with PlayStation Experience 2017, dog. It ain't over. The pain is still coming. The pain is still coming. Imagine if they announce another IP or two on that one. Oh, Lord. Lord. I don't even want to be on Twitter. It will be devastating. Absolute bananas. It's just crazy on what's going on. Listen. Don't be mad at Sony because they're doing their damn job. All right? Sorry, no more damage controlling. Sony's doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're providing content for everybody that bought a PlayStation. Simple. They're putting the developers to work. They're showing the world their long-term planning. And all these games will come out in due time. We already got a War plan for early release 2018, which most likely be March. Spider-Man Detroit is 2018. And then we have some other titles that we'll talk about, smaller titles like AA titles, like Final Fantasy, stuff like that. Shadow of Colossus Remake. We got some good indies. The Hong Kong Massacre. That shit looks fire. And then there's games I've been waiting. Like Lost Soul Aside. Oh, man. Yo, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yo, Sony's putting out so much stuff that literally in 2018, I don't even have to buy multiplats. And I probably have a full year's worth of gaming. Without buying a multiplat all year long. Don't even need multiplats to turn on my console on the reg. With everything Sony's planning. It's crazy to have that many options. Don't be mad at Sony's pushing out games. That's what they're supposed to do. That is what a first-party publisher is supposed to do. Be mad at Microsoft. Be mad at them for who knows what they're doing. Go to Shannon Lawful's Twitter and make your comments. And if you don't like PlayStation games, because I already see that Democrat show, I'm tired of this cinematic, then don't worry about it. Go play your Sea of Thieves then. Oh, wait, it doesn't have a release date either. Go play whatever. Go play Super Lucky Tales. Go ahead. Go settle for whatever. Go, Come on, dog. Who y'all fooling? Y'all fooling. All this non-profit work. Come on. Look at this. Oh, man. This Spider-Man's probably going to be one of the best games of 2018, period. Insomniac Games. We don't like Insomniac Games no more? Got Insomniac waiting around to get a publisher for Sunset Overdrive 2. So while Sony's showing you new IPs, you guys have to do, like, whatchamacallit? Like, go on the internet, whatever, and advocate. Tell Microsoft to publish Sunset Overdrive 2, and they ain't listening. Let's face the facts. Microsoft can't keep up. And I think, you know what? I think you guys realize that. That's why you guys are lashing out. It makes sense why you guys are tired. You're just so sick of seeing Sony first-party publishing to be on top. And it's just, you just guys can't take it. You can't take seeing Sony being on top of everything. And even when you're about to unleash the beast, Sony comes along and takes the rug and sweeps it right under you. Yo, I'm going to say this again, and I'm going to be real. If somebody told me a week ago that all this triggering and emotional heartache would have happened all because of Paris Games Week, I wouldn't have believed it. I didn't think. At best, I thought this was going to be an okay event. We probably would have seen a few things and then moved on from it. But, yo, this thing became huge for no reason at all. Just because Sony's simply doing what Sony always does when it comes to supporting the PlayStation brand. If you haven't recognized it, I highly suggest you look at the history of the PlayStation 1, 2, and 3. And look how Sony does. They will always support their platform. They will push lots of games and lots of content. Always happens, and they always will. Anyway, this is your boy Porter Rock 37. Let me know what you think. Hit me up in the comment section. Tell me how you feel from all the triggering we've been seeing about this. All right? Follow me on Twitter And yo, I hope you enjoyed the show. We'll talk more about it tomorrow. Check out the 60 Frames No Lag podcast. And yo, I appreciate all of you for joining. All right, this is your boy Porter Rock 77, and I'm out. Peace.